While there has been a decades-long out-migration from rural and suburban communities to metropolitan areas, trends show that young adults in their 30s and 40s often want to return to smaller communities to settle down. Several barriers affect the decision to return to smaller Kansas communities: lack of housing, childcare, access to medical facilities, and good-paying jobs. Still, if the desire is to live close to family or enjoy the quality of life that small town settings provide, they try to move forward. If the location lacks large employers, workers may be inclined to branch out as a small business owner or work a day job and build a side business for extra income. Business startups can lead to increased economic activity in the community. With economic growth comes additional tax revenue for governing bodies to improve streets, the city swimming pool, parks, and other infrastructure. So while communities may want more young adults to live and work in their communities, what resources are available to help them attract entrepreneurs? One great resource is Network Kansas. Kansas legislative leaders recognized the need to spur entrepreneurial growth and established the Kansas Center for Entrepreneurship, also known as Network Kansas, in 2004. The entity became operational in 2006. Eric Peterson is President and Chief Operating Officer for Network Kansas. They sponsor the annual Kansas Entrepreneurship Challenge for youth, but shared with us about the lifespan of the resources Network Kansas offers to provide education and financial support, even technical support, at various stages of an entrepreneurial venture.
At Network Kansas, the core of our work is the e-community work, the entrepreneurship community work, and part and parcel to that is working closely with communities all across the state, whether they be rural communities or distressed areas of an urban community, and working through what they deem as areas of priority, whether it be working with youth or startup businesses or existing businesses that need to expand or maybe transition from one generation to the next. And so as we pursue working with the community on areas they think are important, oftentimes youth becomes an area that they want to introduce the middle school and the high school students to the concept of entrepreneurship, to the idea of being your own boss. And so that's where our Youth Entrepreneurship Challenge and our today's Kansas Entrepreneurship Challenge state championship started. But as those youth evolve into owning their own business or starting their own business or considering their own business, there's a wealth of resources across the state that can help with any stage of a business. And we always equate everything into 3 E's, which is expertise, which are people that can help write a business plan or write a marketing plan, build a prototype. The other E is education. Maybe it be a community college business and industry program or university entrepreneurship departments like at Kansas State and KU and Wichita State have as well. And then the third E is economic resources. And that would be capital, that would be loans, that would be equity investment. And so as we work with businesses and they work through their business life cycle from youth all the way to transition or selling the business, there are resources available that can help them with expertise, education, economics. And one of the things that we do through our e-communities is ensure that that right resource can be available to each individual entrepreneur at the time that they need it.
An underlying issue for communities is making sure all persons in their community have access to these resources. We asked Eric how Network Kansas works towards equity.
In much the same way that we do our work across the state, we have a statewide footprint, a mission to serve all 105 counties, whether it be rural, whether it be a micropolitan, whether it be the urban core. And so through our e-community coaches, through the people on the ground that are meeting with local leadership teams, public-private makeup of 10, 12 people in the community who truly understand the ecosystem, truly understand what's needed for the underserved, truly understand what's needed for minority businesses to start. And that may be a specific loan program or a specific form of technical assistance. And so in that same vein of having conversations with the entrepreneurs, having conversations with economic development professionals, chambers of commerce, etc., we learn what the needs are for the specific demographic. And like I said, it could be in a rural market, it could be urban core market, it could be a minority business, it could be an innovation-led business, a Main Street business. Whatever it is, it's our job to help identify the specific needs for education, expertise, and economics, and then bring the right mix to the table to help that entrepreneur, but to not do it in a vacuum. We're a convener. We view ourselves as the one who brings the right people to the table in the community to help that business. We're just the conduit to connect the business to the right resource.
Dakota Nisbeth told us about another community resource being utilized in Dickinson County called CEO.
CEO is a high school entrepreneurial class. We go around the county. We talk to different business leaders and different business owners in the county. We also have to create our own business. At the beginning of the year, as kind of like a group building activity, we build a badge business where we make little badges with our names on them and our jackets. At the middle of the year, we kind of make our own class business. And so we did a concert with Logan Mize. And from that money we made from the class business, we have created our own individual business that kind of represents who we are as a person and how it could be however we want it to be. The CEO has affected me greatly. My skills from CEO have transferred over to school and to my work life. And so it's been great talking to people, communicating, and I feel like I've been grown as a leader and as a person from this class.
Besides these fabulous resources, we can't overlook one of the most important, parents. Sheila and Jermaine Glasper shared with us the story of their son's business, Trey's Squeeze.
Trey was 9 years old and was in the pandemic. They were being homeschooled, essentially, virtual school. And so that summer, as soon as that summer hit, Trey got the idea that he wanted to start a lemonade stand at our local farmers market here in Manhattan, Kansas. And we come from a family of entrepreneurs. Trey's grand uncle, my uncle, had a barbecue stand at the farmers market. Trey noticed that there weren't any drink vendors at that time at the farmers market. So he thought lemonade, barbecue, that's a great combo. Came to Dad and I and asked to start a lemonade stand at the farmer's market. We knew that he needed to get a tax ID. You know, we can't just set up at the farmer's market. Dad was saying maybe set up down at the end of the street, you know, your lemonade stand and kind of see, see how it goes. And Trey said, no, the people are at the farmer's market. I want to be where the people are. And that's kind of how his story started.
And then after Trey was set up at the local farmer's market here in Manhattan, Kansas, we were wanting to show him and teach him the power of manifesting. So we asked him the question of what would he like to see his business grow to. He said, one day I would like to see my products sold on store shelves. So we said, okay, so how about you put that out on social media? So he made a post on his social media page, and one of the general managers at Hy-Vee named Margot actually replied to the post and said, we would love to meet with Trey and have a meeting. So Trey had to set up his lemonade going with the general manager of Hy-Vee and pitch to them. They wanted his product. So then we had to learn the process of getting on the shelf. We were able to connect with the Kansas Food Lab here at Kansas State University, where they walked Trey through the process on how to get his nutritional facts and shelf stability. So once we learned that took about maybe 3 months. Once we got that all certified and approved, we were ready to sell on shelves. Then we had to go and get his license with to VN and also, make his lemonade. So.
And we own a marketing agency focused on social media management and branding. And so Trey has been with us this whole time, seeing how a brand is developed. So one of our first questions when he wanted to start the lemonade stand at the farmer's market was, well, what is it going to be called? What is your brand going to be called? And he came up with Trey Squeeze. So we said, okay, we'll create a logo. Your logo, your brand needs a face. It needs a visual. So then he went and created a logo. And it's still the same logo that we use to this day. And then we asked him to come up with a tagline. What does your business mean? He came up with squeeze into your dreams. And so essentially taking the sour lemons of the pandemic and turning it into an entrepreneurial endeavor has been what he's been able to do.
Mm-hmm.
Not every budding entrepreneur has parents with marketing backgrounds, but you can see that the supportive adults in roles throughout the community can make all the difference in turning a child's ambition and creativity into a business opportunity. Parents play an important role in helping youth build confidence, but Blake Logan shared another quality he felt has helped him achieve success.
I really don't think confidence is what I had when I got started. I think it's more about humility, just trying to be humble and realize that you don't know what you're doing and you need to ask questions. So I think the confidence comes as you grow and get older, because when I first started, I really didn't know what I was doing. So I really had to make sure I was asking for help and just admitting when I didn't know what I was doing. And it really helped, because when at kind of this age, when a customer hires you, they don't expect you to be the absolute best that they can get. They know that they're hiring a kid that's just getting started, so they'll be really understanding if you're just humble about it and just say that you'll do what it takes to figure it out. But yeah, the confidence will come as you continue and you grow.
We have highlighted some of the resources available to communities to build and support entrepreneurs. We asked one seasoned economic development director, Roger Raby, if he had any advice for communities wanting to do more to attract young adults to their communities to live and work.
One of the things we've tried to do, I suppose, in recent years has been to try to involve the business community more in what the students are doing. Okay, this is not just another activity, it's not another sport. This is a life experience that if you as a business person really want your community to succeed, as we all do, then support these students that are doing this, and that could be just giving them some advice or assistance on putting together a business plan, or reading their business plan and critiquing it and saying, if this was me, this is what I would do differently, or just relating some of their experiences in running a business and what they might want to think of. So, I think the business community needs to be more active in that, and again, not just think of it as a student activity or something that the school's doing and it's their business and not ours. It really is a community activity, in my opinion.
So what do teens think about staying in or returning to their home community to live and work?
So I plan to continue running this business, and it could possibly support a family. There's many solo operators out there making $80,000 to $100,000 a year currently that can support a family. And so that's what I plan to do in my future, and just support my family and give back to my community.
It looks like the Hilton is right. It matters where you stay.